D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So, I just finished Superman and Lois, episode 7. And I want to tell you that I'm going to go a little hard on this episode. And here's why. Because, and not hard, I shouldn't say that, because this season is such a slow burn that, and we're through the halfway point. This is only 13 episodes this season compared to 15 episodes of season 1 and season 2, and we're like at the halfway point, and we still like, and I'm like, what's going on here? This is turned into This Is Us, but with Superman. And I mean, don't get me wrong, these episodes are written well, but this is not what I signed up for. And I feel like last episode or this episode, something had to happen and nothing happened. I mean, we got some reveals, but so who cares about these not even big reveals? And I just go, what's the point of this season except for to make us, try to make us cry every episode? Like, that's my whole thing. And, and it's a little bit disappointing. I'm not going to lie, because season 1 was really good. Season 2, I mean, it started off really good and then it kind of like teetered a little bit, but I still feel like season 2 was a strong season. But this one, I just don't know what the point of this season is. Like, I except to make us cry, try to make us cry every episode. I did tear up a couple of times. And okay, let me talk about some positives. Okay, so first off, everybody's doing a great job acting wise, like so good. Like everybody's like, I mean, even the new kid, I don't remember what his name is, that's playing Jonathan. He's not as good as the last, what was his name? Jordan Elias. Not as good as him though. That kid's a better actor, but he's still doing a good job. I don't want to take away from him. And like everything's, written well. The writing is still solid. It's just I'm just like where I don't know how you feel about this season, but it's such a slow burn and we still have no payoff. I mean, we're getting these reveals, like we got onomatopoeia and we found out that was the her friend that has cancer and everything, and her and what's his face is Mannheim is they're married and everything. And then this episode we got a little bit of a reveal, but it's just I do like watching this show every week, but I'm not excited for it the way I used to be. And this is why, not because it's bad, it's because I just don't feel like it's like they're not appealing to people like me. Like I said before, this is more like a This Is Us kind of a show where they're just trying to make you cry every episode. And me, I just go, I'm not interested. I don't watch that show This Is Us because I'm not interested in that. So I'm not interested in what's going on here. Now, I can deal with the soap opera of, the young love and everything, and the you're dating my dad now, whore. But I'm just like, there was no action in this episode. And maybe, just maybe, they are saving it for a big finale, because they're like, hey, we only have this budget for every episode, and maybe they're able to push extra money from a budget over to the season finale, let's say, and they're just gonna have a big brawl out fight, which I would be down for. I would be down with that sickness. But I just wish that it was this episode would have had something like really huge and of significance, but it didn't. All right, I'm going to do my breakdown, and I'll go through some stuff. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm going to try to get it under like 10 minutes, and just really just like talk about certain things in here. But I really don't have anything like thought wise, because when I was watching it, I was like, this is good, but it's not, it's just, I just, like I said, I just don't know. Because while I was watching this, I was like, this is good, but this doesn't feel like Superman, it doesn't feel like Superman to me. But yeah. Okay, before I get started on this breakdown, though, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting pushed to the back of the line. And I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you in advance. I just wanted to also say, you guys, like I see my analytics and a lot of you are watching, but you're not subscribing. Subscribing costs you nothing. It literally costs you nothing. It costs you less than 30 seconds of your time. Just click that little subscribe button. All right, I'm going to stop talking now about that crap. Let's get into this breakdown. All right. So it starts off on the Kent farm. And, Lois is throwing up because she's having the treatments. And she's like, I'm sorry, I stained another one of your shirts. And he's like, it's fine. And she throws up again. And then the next morning, he's like, hey, it's your last treatment. He's like, we can postpone it. And she's like, no, I want to go get it done and everything. He gave her a green drink. I do not like these green drinks. I don't know exactly what's in it, but every green drink I've had like that, I'm not gonna lie, it tastes like garbage. Like, I had one, it literally just tasted like grass. I was like, what is this? I think it was grass though. I think it was like grass root or some crap like that. It was just I was like, this is gross. It just tastes like you blended up grass and just threw it in some water water and grass. And I was like, ah. Anyways, okay. So they're like, is everything okay? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, are you sure? And she's like, everything's going to be fine. So Jonathan is not having it. He's like, I don't believe this nonsense. We need to change some stuff up. And he's like, we need to go check stuff out. So then she's all like, what dress should I pick? And he's like, oh, whatever one you like. This place is a mess. Oh, I'll clean it up. We don't have any food. I'll go pick some up. And she's like, you only have 2 hours before my boyfriend gets here, Dad. This part was actually fine. I was like, I get it. She just wants to impress her boyfriend. He's like, all right, listen, I'll clean up. I'll go get some food. And you look beautiful in blue. And she's like, I'll ask Sarah or some crap like that. I can't remember. And I just want to say right now, he was correct. She should have worn the blue. The blue would have looked great. Blue is better than what is that? Brown? Blue's better than brown. Come on. In fact, I think percentage wise, most people's favorite color is blue. Yeah, that's not my favorite color. My favorite color is yellow. Okay, anyways. So these two are hanging out with their mom at the diner, and she's like, what's going on there? And she's like, I think these people are like trying to bamboozle me because I'm a woman. And Sarah's all like, what? And she's like, yeah, but I'm a boss bitch, so I'm gonna like rule this shit. And I'm all like, okay, you get it, girl, and everything. It's fine. I'm playing, but it's fine. So then Chrissy comes in and she sees her and she's all like, oh, crap, I gotta have the talk. And she's like, listen, Lana, we were not trying to go behind your back. We weren't trying to, I told him I wanted to tell you, but we weren't trying to go behind your back or whatever. She's like, it's fine. It's fine. So Sarah's listening because she's like, oh, this stupid harlot's trying to steal my daddy away. And you're all like, what? And everything. So this lady pops up on the counter and she's all like, egg white omelet and biscuits and gravy, extra gravy. And I'm okay. So this is the thing. And they're like, first off, I just wanted to be like, hey, bitch, in the cardigan, maybe you could shut your fucking mouth and not give out my order. Okay. Like I'm a big heifer. And then, yeah, like they know what's doing. And she's like, she's like, it's not what you think. And Sarah says something along the lines of, yeah, we know what it is. Well, we know what's going on, whore, you little devil's harlot and everything. And she's like, Sarah, she's like, don't ever talk to people like that again. But really, she on the inside, she's thinking like, you get it, girl. And so, yeah. So then back at the hospital, these two are chit-chatting, Pia and Lois. And he comes in and he brings her some new ice and whatnot. And I can't remember what he does, but hold on, let me show you. He sticks out his tongue. It's like super adorable. Look how adorable that is. I could eat him up. Anyways, so then these two are chit-chatting and she has a flashback. Okay. And she's like, why did you bring me here? This is Moxie's place. And he's like, I wanted to spend time with you. I wanted to have dinner with you. I've loved you since I saw you when we were like younger or whatever. And she's drinking the wine. The wine looks delicious though. This lady is really pretty. I like her bone structure. Like I like her jawline and everything. And her cheekbones. She's really pretty. I'd smash right now. Anyways. Okay. Nah, that's not true. I have a wife. I can't do that. I do like this guy too. He's a good actor. I do like him a lot. Yeah, everybody's doing a good job acting wise, except for one person in this episode, which bummed me out because it's the Nat's boyfriend. He didn't do a good job acting wise this episode. I was like, oh, you did good job the last couple of times. I was like, what's going on here? I don't know. Maybe it was just because he was playing like this love struck boy, and I was like, maybe don't do the love struck boy that great. Anyways, okay. So he's talking about how he's going to change the city for the better or whatnot, and so she's having memories. And he hears something. He hears the boys. So he goes off to the Fortress of Solitude, and they're talking to their grandma. And she's all like, Dad didn't talk to you about what's going on with Mom, or you didn't see Mom. And he's all there. She's all like, no, your father told me what was happening, and we decided that treatment here was not okay. And then basically the treatment wouldn't work on her because she's human and she wouldn't be able to survive the healing process, the treatment process. And he's like, you didn't even try. And she's like, sorry, buddy. And like, he's like, he's like, what are you two doing here? And he's like, you lied to us. You didn't even try to help out Mom. And he's like, no, we did, but she's human. It wouldn't work as well. And he's like, how do you know? You didn't even try. And then so she's sitting here talking, and she shows I don't remember what she shows her. But then she's sitting here talking about Mannheim and all this stuff. And she's like, you've been here forever. What's this like? And then so he's sitting here talking to Moxie. This is Moxie. Now, Moxie, I did look it up because I am not 100% all in on Intergang. I mean, I know about Intergang and I've read comic books with them in it, but I'm not like, an Intergang aficionado and everything. So he's like, listen, what we could do is he's like, listen, Lex Luthor. He's like, you want us to compete with Lex Luthor? And he's like, no. He's like, why don't we give him the city? Like, he has free reign. Which, why has Lex Luthor not shown up yet? They cast him. Why has he not shown up yet? So he's like, we give him the city, but we take back this area and we have infrastructure. Why don't we build it up, our community, the suicide slums? And he's like, I'll think about it. And I'm like, huh. So then she's still working an angle, and she's trying to like dodge questions, but then finally she just gets pissed off, and she's like, what are you getting at, Jen? I can't remember what she says, and she's like, I'm gonna go over here. Don't follow me. And this lady's all looking at her like, y'all, you done messed up, stupid. Yeah. So then he's getting some food, but he gets like these healthy choice boxes. And she's like, who you cooking for all fancy like? And I was like, a healthy choice is fancy? What's going on here? He's like, oh, Nat's got a date. Our boyfriend's coming over for lunch. She's like, oh, I remember that. And he's like, I'm going to play it cool. I'm going to be cool, Dad, and everything. She's never had a boyfriend before, kind of thing. So then he comes in. She's all like, what happened? He's like, the boys, we'll talk about it later. And she's all like, I messed up with Pia. Things got bad. We got into like a little, I pushed and things got bad. So he's like, let me help you out. Why don't I go interview Mannheim? So he pops up. And then we get another flashback where we saw this like the little elevator, and then this part right here. So then we move over to the past where they walk in, and it's a big freaking dump, which is totally cool. So she's all like, you want to buy this building? He's like, I already bought it. We can build it up. This is our thing. So they're sitting here talking. He's like, you're treating these criminals and giving them superpowers. What for? And he's like, I'm trying to cure cancer. What about your wife? Wouldn't you do anything to save her? And then they flash back to these two, and he's like, Mom and Dad lied to us. They lied to us. He's like, Mom's got papers. We're going to find it. And he finds her will, which is, unsettling. So then Chrissy comes in, and she's like, he gave you a key. And she's like, he just let me borrow for the day and everything. And she's like, and she's like, you're going to the movie? And she's like, yeah. And then gets canceled. And she's like, hey, she's like, just because, I'm dating your dad doesn't mean you get to go a full-on mean girl to me and everything. And she's all like, yeah, you're right and everything. And long story short, they end up going to the movie together. Yeah. So then the boyfriend comes over, and he brings flowers, and he's like, whoa. And this is where I was like, a little. He's like, you look stunning. I'm like, she looks fine. And it's just lunch. You need to calm down. She's wearing like a freaking Met Gala dress for lunch. He's like, this food was amazing. You didn't need to do all this for me. And I'm like, you need to stop overacting. You need to calm it down. So he's obviously been trying to be intimidating or whatnot, which is working. And isn't this the same dress she wore to that party? like 4 episodes ago. I don't remember. Anyways, she's like, and then, okay, so then he's all like, he's questioning him, like, what are your intentions with my daughter? And it's, I want to coat her throat. Anyways, but she's like, yo, I'm sorry about my dad because he's going full, crazy person or whatever. I can't remember what she says. But then me, I'm sorry. Like, I'd have been like, first off, little girl, this is my house. Do not disrespect me. Because she was all like, he was like, bug, and she's like, do not call me that. And see, let me just tell you right now, if my daughter snapped at me like that and was like, don't call me that, I'll be like, I'll call you whatever I want, asshole. This is my house. I pay the bills around here. You you will respect my authority, I don't have many rules in my house, but the ones I do. So they go to the movie. Then she walks over and she's like, I told you not to follow me. She's like, listen, I'm sorry. Okay. She's like, you're my friend. And I just wanted to, I push and I push and I just, this is scary, cancer scary, all this stuff. And she's like, maybe she's like, well, we can still be friends kind of thing. And she's like, maybe, oh, okay. And so then she goes and she's like, hey, I wasn't cool, dad. And she's like, oh, you gotta like, let's go for a walk or some crap like that. Then these two are like, man, your dad is crazy intimidating. He's like, but he's gonna have to put up mad skills to get me to back down or whatever, because I really like you and everything. And she's like, oh, I really like you. They kiss. And he's like, hey, are you two gonna buy a ticket? I'm like, yeah, don't be weird, guys. And then these two go into the movies, but she's like, I got candy. And she's like, what are these gummies? And she's like, oh, you're a stoner girl. And she's all like, I was at Coachella, you do things. She's like, what bands did you see? So he's like, what? I was like, what? I'm not the story here. What's going on here? And he's all like, yeah, but he basically is like, the hospital doesn't, everything you've invested in turns a profit except for the hospital. What's going on there? And he thinks it's a front, which it is a front, but he's all like, he's like, wouldn't you do anything to save your wife? And he's like, this is personal for you. And he's like, so then he stops and she's like, you should come out to Smallville to the house and we'll make you dinner, all that good stuff. And she's like, no, Lois, we can't do this. She's like, we can't be friends like this. And she's like, why? And then she looks over and she's like, because of him. And she looks over and she's like, what? And he's all like, she's like, yeah, he's my man. And he's like, he's like, you do anything to save the one that you love. And he is. And so they head out. And then they go up to this thing and she's all like, thanks you guys so much. And let's ring this stupid bell. And she's like, say with me, screw cancer. And they're like, screw cancer. And I'm like, yeah, screw cancer. Cancer sucks. So then they're sitting here and she's they're talking and having they're flirting or whatnot. And he sees them making out or whatnot. She's like, be cool, dad. This is not okay. This right here, this is not okay. I just want you to know, if I saw my daughter doing this, I'm all like, I don't think so. You don't do this crap like this in public. You don't see me and your mom just sucking face in public. Calm it down. Okay. So then she's like, so he talks to him and she's like, listen, your dad means well. She's just trying to deal with all this new stuff. And she sees them and she walks away and she's all like, he's like, listen, I'm sorry. He's like, I don't understand. He's like, Mr. Irons, I totally get it. My mom taught me to respect women. And he's like, besides, if I didn't respect Nat, she would tear me apart. And he's like, yes, she would. She's pretty awesome. Don't hurt my little girl's heart or I'll hurt your face. So then these two get home and they bust out and they're like, you lied to us. What is this? We found your last will and testament and you wrote goodbye letters. And she's all like, listen, she's like, you're right. I did do all that. She's like, but this is normal. She's like, just in case something happens. And she's all like, and he's all like, yeah. He's like, you could die. And she's all like, yeah, I could die. And he's all like, and then they're like, you have to have, and he's like, what? Hope? He's like, hope didn't stop your dad from having a heart attack. Hope didn't stop your mom from having a stroke. He's like, and hope is not going to cure cancer. Or he's like, the last time I checked, hope didn't cure cancer. And I was like, well, he's right. He walks away because he's pissed. And so, yeah. So then they're sitting there talking. She's all like, we should have told them kind of thing. And I can't remember what they say here, but she's like, we want to talk to you guys. Like, she's like, I should have told you about all this stuff, and we should be a little bit more open and honest with you guys. And she's like, why didn't you do the treatment? And he's like, they're like, we can't have this Kryptonian. If we cure your mom with this Kryptonian treatment, we would have to open it up to the whole world. And with Kryptonian technology like that, it's not good. It's just not good. So we're going to just do the treatment the human treatment that she's doing now. And he's like, but what if you die? And she's like, then I die. And he's like, I don't want you to die. And then she's like, I don't want to die and everything. And then like they hug and she's like, I love you guys so much. And it's so sad. Like, you get teary eyed at these parts, but this is what they're going for. They're going for this is us wanting you to tear up, cry thing. So then she's sitting here and she's like, hey, why did you leave? And she's like, I'm denying my feelings. And she's like, what's going on? And she's like, it's a little like she just says it's a little weird because things are changing. Like her husband's moving on and her daughter's becoming friends with his new girlfriend. She better not call her mom. And she's like, well, what do you want to do right now? And she's like, I want to let off fireworks. She's like, I was not expecting that. So they go out here and everything. And he's like having a glass of wine. He's like, can you feel any of that? And he's like, not one bit, but your mom really likes it. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, you don't need to apologize. And I can't remember what else they say. I know I'm lazy because I didn't write down notes. So then the fireworks are going off. He's like, that's probably, my friends. He's like, no, it's Lana and Sarah. And they're having a good time just lighting off fireworks. This would annoy me though. I don't like it. I don't like fireworks. He's like, this is actually kind of nice. I'm like, is it though? And then so she gets home and she sits down. And I just wanted to say right now, I knew this last part was going to go down before it happened. As soon as he mentioned his mom, because this is his mom. She's like, how you doing? He's like, let me get you water. And she's like, no, it's okay. And then so she sees him and he's like, you went behind my back and talked to all my lieutenants here to try to get them to turn on me. And he's like, we have a good thing here. We can turn this place into, he's like, Pia, take care of these punks. So she takes out all these people, like all these lieutenant guys. And then she's like, Pia, he's like, we have a chance to do something here. I love you. He's like, what does he say? I love you always or something like that. I can't remember what he says. And he's like, Pia, do it. And so she turns her back on Mannheim or Moxie and she like just disintegrates him. He's like a pool of mushy goo, like spaghettios with meat. Ew, gross. Anyways. And she's like, I love you, Bruno. He's like, I love you too. And then it comes back. He's like, Mom, Dad. And the son comes in and she's like, how was your date? And he's like, oh, it was perfect. And this is the date, Nat's date. And I was like, of course it is. He's like, Mom, she's the one. And they're like, oh, the one, huh? And he's like, I want you to meet her, my girlfriend. And then that's where the episode ends. And like I said before, it's not a bad episode. It's just, where is the I feel like it's just the same thing every episode, we've gotten nowhere into what Mannheim is doing except trying to revive Bizarro, and he's trying to save his wife's life, who is onomatopoeia. And I'm all like, but where what else is there? That's 13 episodes worth. I'm just like, come on. Like, is there anything else that this season has for us besides this? Yeah. I already said everything I said before, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm being, too critical, but I was just hoping for a little bit more this episode. I really felt like this should have been like the big jumping off point where we got the big, thing. And then like, maybe a big action set piece or whatever, maybe something, but it just wasn't there, Like it was just, it was fine. It was just fine. And maybe that's my fault because I've been expecting more than just fine, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, maybe, and I don't want to say they should step it up because I do feel like this is like definitely one of the best CW shows that's been put out in a long time. And I would even compare these first 3 seasons to like the first 2 seasons of Arrow or the first season of The Flash, just like really good. But this season has not been stellar in my opinion. Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to drop it off there. I said 10 minutes. It's been 20 minutes or whatever. Well, more than that after but anyways, all right. Tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? When did you tear up? Where do you think this could possibly go? Are you like me and you're just a little bit disappointed in the fact that they're not like trying to push the story on just a little bit faster because it's such a slow burn, right? But tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on my next Superman and Lois breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.